Hello, everybody. This is the Casual Hunters Podcast, bringing you the most laid-back hunting. Introducing myself, Iceman, that cool guy with an igloo for hair, the monster hunter from the cold north, Neelam, and the Australian hunter with many personalities, Icicle. For those of you who don't know, we were intending this to be a podcast of 4, including Chet's B, but unfortunately, due to personal reasons, he's no longer going to be with us on the podcast. So he sent us a little message.
Howdy everyone, this is just a short message on my behalf to let you all know that I won't be in the podcast anymore because just, due to personal reasons, and it'd be difficult to kind of link up together with everyone to do the show when they're able to. So due to that reason, I decided to take myself out of the show, and that won't impact on anything because the guys will take care of it anyway. But with that kind of said and done, I will hand it back over to the others. So that's myself out. Bye.
So in our last episode, we asked our viewers if they'd like to see some Unite, because we're all still low rank. We've made some new characters, and we asked if people would like to see us do a couple of hunts in this, and we got some pretty positive feedback. Sorry about that. Anyway, so here we are in Unite, and as you can see, my name, Icicle, in this is it's Scorpius. That's just what I named my character in Unite. So without further ado, our first hunt is against a Khezu.
Yeah. I was gonna ask you because I think you have a reason for why you have your character named Scorpius, right?
Yeah, I guess. In games, even in Monster Hunter, as silly as it sounds, I tend to have names associated with the type of character I'm using, and in this one, in Unite, I'm mostly using Bow, which is, I don't know, I like Scorpius as a bow character, and I often use Icicle when it comes to swords. So in Portable Third, if anyone were to see my guild card, they'd see pretty interesting stats.
Yeah.
The guys.
We actually have showed that in a recent recording, right, Craig? I'm not sure if everyone will be able to see that or not, but yeah. So yeah, this fight will be against the Khezu in the swamp, and just for you. Oops! Took 2 rations. I just want to say that I love this game. It's one of the best Monster Hunter games, according to my opinion. This was the first game I started to play, so I'm quite excited to start over for the 3rd time.
You nicked all the rations, man.
The Monster Hunter Portable Third time you're playing Unite.
Hold on. You can have these.
Yeah.
Sorry for that.
So what's the first topic on the agenda then?
It's armors today. Last time we spoke about weapon types and weapon overall. So today we will be speaking a little bit about armors and a little bit of this, a little bit of that. So, who wants to start talking about it?
Not
me.
Wolfie?
No. Okay. All right. Well, okay. First of all, armors, which have obviously been in every game.
No.
There's 2 very important things, as everyone knows, about armors in Monster Hunter, and one of them is the defense, which obviously decreases the damage you receive from hits. And connected to that, you could say, is resistances, which reduces damages from specific elements. But the other main factor about armor sets is the skills that you get from wearing them. And obviously, different skills have very different effects. And I guess it's kind of personal preference, what you use. In most games, you'll find there's like a few sets that are like it's people seem to always use these specific sets because they're so good, like in Rathalos and Deviljho and Electron armors were quite common, as well as Cephadrome.
Oh yeah.
Just
Like
mostly
everyone
because of the
has.
skills. They all give pretty decent defense, but it's really the skills that were important, like attack up large and such, which increases your damage, for those who don't know. So that's I guess the basis around armors. You wear different ones to give yourself larger amounts of defense, and to get different skills.
Yeah. And while we're talking about skills, maybe we should like speak a little about the way to put in extra skills. You know, when you put in decorations and stuff.
Yeah, sure. Do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, I could do that. So your armor pieces. Well, this is like noob talking, but yeah, maybe it's nice to speak about it though. Your armor pieces most often will have slots available, which means that you can put in specific decorations that will increase some kind of skill. The most common, how to say it, last minimum skill thingy that you will need will be +10. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So the minimum amount of points
Yeah.
in a skill is 10 to get an actual boost
skill
from that. So like you need 10 points of attack to get attack up small.
Yeah. And well, that's a really nice way to get 1 or 2 extra skills, or maybe to improve one of your skills. Let's say that you have attack up medium and you only need, let's say, 5 points to get attack up large. Then you can gem in like 5 extra points with decorations that will give you an extra boost. Well, that will be quite much better actually. So I think that's a really nice way that they have put in this game. I'm not sure if it was like that from the start too. Do you know anything about it, Iceman?
No, it's actually, I believe it was introduced in, was it Portable 2? I think maybe even Monster Hunter 2. It was definitely not in the first game.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, it's in the original game. It's like the armors only had like what they had. There was no way to like get rid of negative skills or increase the skills in any way. It was just like they had what they had, and that was it.
So it was a lot more about the skill of the hunter,
yeah,
and the defense of the armor than as much of the skills. Correct?
Yeah, it's like if you're comparing the original game to like say Monster Hunter 2 and Unite, there's been a drastic change in the armors. A lot of the skills and stuff have been rebalanced in Monster Hunter 2. Then they rebalanced them again in Freedom 2, and again rebalanced them in Unite. So there has been a dramatic change in the skills. If you try and import your character from say like Freedom 2 to Unite, you actually get a warning message saying like skills have been changed, points of armor have been changed, and all these different things. So at least they give you some sort of warning. But yeah, for the most part, there was no way to change or improve the armor in any way. But the main thing which people don't seem to realize is the most important thing of any armor is the skills. Like, it's not the defense.
Yeah.
If you can have really low defense, really good skills, and then you'd probably do better than having a high defense and no skills on the armor.
Yeah.
Because a common thing, especially on Try, you'd always see people with like mismatched sets. So they have like one piece of one armor, another piece of another armor, or they'd mix and match like high and low rank, and then you'd go on their skills, and then it would just say no skills because they haven't had the required 10 points that they need for like any skill. So,
well, to be fair, it's not really properly indicated for total newcomers. At least not that I can think of. Like when I was very first playing Try, because that was the first. Oh dear!
Ouch!
That was the first game that I really.
He's gonna
got
get
into.
me. Oh man.
No!
And then there was one. Now that's
This-
casual hunting.
This is how you do it.
Wow. We're sorry about that. I got hit by 2 electro ball at the same time, so I couldn't really do anything.
Yeah, I was sharpening my sword and then he got me like at the last second. But
Oh,
anyway,
shit, sorry.
but yeah, going back to the armors, in Try, I think that was the first game which actually told you, like on the screen, like about the skills. You had
Yeah,
to,
if you highlighted them.
yeah, you had to like point the Wii remote on the screen, and then it would give you
Yeah.
a little information box saying, you know, like +10 gives you this, +15 gives you this, +20 gives you this. But in the old games, there was like no indication of anything. It's a lot
Yes,
better in
you
third as
can
well. Sorry.
Yes, you can say that Try is a good game for newcomers. Really?
Yeah. It's not as unforgiving as the second or first generation. It like monsters might be difficult, but they don't stun lock you very much. Like I know if you get trapped between a Khezu and a wall, it's often kind of the end.
Yes, most often, yeah. Yeah. So you can also upgrade your armor. Oh, that was very nice of you to help me there, Scorpius. You
No
totally
problem.
saved me. So you can upgrade your armor with something called armor spheres that will easily upgrade your defense per piece. Right?
That's right.
Correct.
There isn't any much more to say about that. It's just that your base defense will become higher.
The
Which is
thing
always
is, as
nice.
well, with the armor spheres, you get varying levels of the spheres. So, like, you need like a blue one, I think, to start with. Then it goes green, then
Then-
purple, then red.
Yeah, and then red.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's different. In Try there's like some kind of orange sphere. Like instead of it overtakes some other one.
but anyway, there's
Or maybe I'm just
there's varying
delusional.
levels.
Yeah,
so you-
basically the concept remains the
Yeah.
same.
It's
Yeah,
like
of
you get to a
course.
certain point in the game, and then you may only get, say, green spheres. So then you can't upgrade any higher. So then you need to progress further in the game, and then you'll get the next level and the next level, and so on. So it does somewhat restrict you. But obviously, once you get to the end of the game, then there's no real problem there.
One very important thing about armors is that there's 2 separate types of armor for most. Okay, like let's say you're trying to make Rathalos armor. For most armor sets, it's split into 2 categories of Gunner and Blade Master, depending on what weapon you use. And again, this is I guess much like the last episode, we're covering a lot of the basic topics to do with armor that
Yeah.
total newcomers wouldn't know.
Yeah.
And if you use a bowgun or a bow, you go for gunner armor, which has
Yes.
less defense generally, and generally less resistances. More
No,
resistance,
that's
sorry.
Yeah.
More resistances and less defense. And they have a very separate list of skills to Blade Master, which is the opposite. So, for example, if you have a Blade Master set, it might have a skill called Speed Sharpening, which obviously when you're using a whetstone to sharpen your blade,
I'm dead.
or whatever.
No.
I'm dead.
No.
you-
I'm dead.
We don't
I'm
need
not
another dare.
I'm not dead. I'm dead. No, I was kidding. Yeah, sorry.
Yeah, so yeah, with whetstones, you only have to grind your strike, I believe the term is, your weapon once with speed sharpening as opposed to 3 times. But if you were using any sort of gunner weapon, it would have literally no effect, so you wouldn't find it on a gunner armor.
No.
Yeah, and that's basically it. The gathering skills like gathering or fishing or a variety of other skills, they have a multi-purpose effect because they're not really restricted to a weapon. But there are plenty of skills that are specific.
Ooh.
So I guess that pretty much covers armors. You make armors out of various parts from monsters and then upgrade them, and you're trying to monopolize on skills while you do it.
One last thing as well. For some reason, which is somewhat unknown, you can interchange the Gunner and Blade Master helms on armors as well.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody's figured out why they've chose to do that, but you can. So obviously, like as we were saying earlier about skills, you may have certain extra points in skills, or you may have certain extra points in resistances that you want, so you can interchange the helm.
Well, I found like in Unite and other games, I haven't really focused on it too much in other games, but in Unite, it's generally with the Blade Master helm, you get less points in skills, but obviously the more defense. So it might be the difference between having attack up small and attack up medium, depending on which helmet you pick.
Yeah, sometimes it is like that. I think there actually is something else we can talk about armors.
Well, we'll cover it in the next quest if that's the case.
So we are back. This quest will be a green Plesioth, which I really feel sorry for Krieg for, because he's the only Blade Master. I just want to mention one thing that maybe could be really useful for people who are a bit more interested in how you can build your own armor set, your customized set. There is actually a program called Athena's Armor Set Search, which allows you to choose your skills in the list, like what skills you want, and then like search on, let's say you want sharpness +1, attack up medium, speed sharpener, and sharpening skill increased. Then you choose those skills for Blade Master, and then you just click search. And then depending on what HR you are, it will try to find a way for you to make that armor.
You can do things like import your talismans as
yeah,
well.
but that's for there is a new version of that for third, which allows you to import all your charms in portable third into the program, so it can sense like all your charms.
And then it can use that and when it's like trying to formulate an armor set for you.
Yeah. So it came first for Unite. So I find this very useful. And we will send you links in the this description under this video, so you can just check it out if you would like to. Yeah, so next topic.
He's not here, that's the next topic.
Next topic will probably be in here.
So, over the last few weeks, especially, funnily enough, pretty much right after the last episode, a whole heap of information on Tri-G came out when it got released, and videos started circling the internet and such, so on and so forth. And we've gotten to see what a lot of the new monsters are and how they battle and what the battles seem to be like. For example, the new final boss, which has another unpronounceable name, what is it, Guran Mirausu or something like that? It's crazy.
You tell me.
Anyway, so what did you guys? I'm sure you guys have seen the battle. What did you think about the new final boss for Tri-G?
Let's give that to Craig. I think you've seen more of it than me.
To be honest, I think it seems to be extremely boring. It seems to basically just be Fatalis, but it forces you to be underwater, and the monster is so big that it can stand up. From the video which we saw on YouTube, it pretty much just seems to stand around, not do a lot. It does like like a meteor attack, like all these rocks and stuff come down
Yeah.
from the sky. But for the most part, it doesn't really seem to do a lot, and I don't really understand why it has to be underwater, to be honest. I think maybe just because
Yeah.
it's like Tri-G and, they've reintroduced like underwater battles and stuff, but
I'd say so. Much like how they put Cephadrome as one of the last bosses of Tri, just to
yeah, but
showcase that.
it just seems to be, well, not really a waste, but just a huge disappointment, because you expect the final boss to be good, or at least somewhat of a challenge, and it just seems to, I don't know.
You expect the final boss to be the final boss,
And it's
and not just some kind of annoying thing.
But we can't really comment completely honestly on it because we haven't fought it. So,
Nope.
Who knows?
true.
It might just have been the person battling it, or it might have been a lucky fight. We don't know.
Yeah, that could be true.
Anyway, so there's other monsters such as a new Nargacuga subspecies, or it might
Another
be a rare
one.
species. I'm not sure which.
Yeah.
Doesn't seem to be too much of a difference between the two. The main point is it's another form of Nargacuga.
Yeah.
And it shares a trait with Chameleos, sort of.
Yeah, it actually do. It can get invisible for a short time. I saw the fight. Thought it was actually not very exciting. Well, it was something new with Nargacuga, but it's like he became invisible. But he only became invisible, what I saw anyway, when he jumped out of the way and moved position. But you could still see like where he landed, and he will take his normal form after he have landed. So it's not really. I don't know. Maybe that was just me who noticed that, but he's also poison, right?
Him, I don't know.
I think he
I
is,
think
yeah.
he
It's
is.
like when he shoots his spines from his tail, I think
Tail.
they're poison.
Yeah.
I think when he's enraged as well, I think when he does his tail slam, he does it twice in a row.
Yeah,
Mm.
like the green one.
Nice, by the way.
But he's mostly the same.
Yeah.
Um,
Well, from third,
yeah.
Yeah.
he's quite strange in Unite.
There's also a new subspecies. Whoa, new. There's a subspecies for Cephadrome, which is
There
interesting.
is.
I haven't seen anything much from it. All I know is it looks kind of strange.
I haven't seen it either, actually. I haven't really been that good to follow the Tri-G stuff.
Yeah, same
Yeah.
here.
Just because there's like really bad recordings.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have done that, like watch a little bit.
Like we have really. We've watched a bit, and the thing is, it's just
Thank you.
not quite as fun to watch. It's
Welcome.
like
Yeah,
you
it's like
watch a portable third video or Unite or anything really, and the quality is really nice. That's what you come to expect, and when it's just sort of not there, it's a little disappointing.
I think the main thing is because it's
Yes.
on 3DS, there's no way to like directly record it. So like every video we've
Yeah.
seen has been somebody at a strange angle with a camera, and there's always noise and stuff in the background, or they don't
yeah.
voice it. Well, even if they were to voice it ever, it'd be in like Japanese anyway. But for the most part, it just like we've played a lot of Tri and we played a lot of Third, and it's just a combination of the two. So there's nothing drastically different. So I don't know. It just doesn't really have that appeal, I guess.
One fight that I surely will. Oh, one fight that I actually remember is, the new Genoga?
Yeah, the subspecies that
Yeah.
does it. Yeah, it's got
Looks
the
awesome.
orange, the red and black. Sorry.
Yeah. He's a dragon element Genoga, and I must say that I like his appearance a lot.
Yeah, it's really slick.
It looks so good. And he have these
I'm dead.
small. Oh no! He
Yeah, for those of you at
He
home who've
shoots
been
like-
watching me, you can really see how bad his hitboxes are. But sorry, carry on.
he shoots out like these balls that follows you after he do some kind of strange move. But yeah, he looks quite nice, and I would like to fight him, but I can't because I don't have a 3DS and I don't have the game. So that's a bummer. And one fight that I definitely will watch to see the difference will be the new Genmoran.
Yeah, the subspecies.
Yeah, the
It's really the
Azure.
subspecies generation.
Yeah, it really is. Like everything is subspecies.
There's also a
Yeah.
subspecies of Lagiacrus as well, which is more of a land-based creature.
Yeah, there's a subspecies and a rare species for Lagiocrus in this game, so
Yep.
interesting.
Kind of weird. Yeah, there's like one white one. Well, like to say the white one, and
And
then
then
there's
there's
some
a
kind of
large duck one.
yes, like gigantic dark Lagiacrus that can make whirlpools in the water and
So-
stuff.
It's basically try Subspecies Paradise Edition.
Yeah. Oops.
So yeah, I think we've pretty much covered what we've been able to find out during the last few weeks, at least. Anyway, as we've said, like none of us
Oops.
are willing to import the game and a Japanese 3DS to actually play it, and yeah, I'm not sure if any of us ever will. So we're just going on like videos we've seen and information by other people. So unfortunately, we can't give like a first hand on anything. So yeah,
We just gotta wait and see and hope that there will be a Western release eventually. Right?
yeah, it's still rumored to
Correct,
come
I
out
think
in mid 2012 in Europe, but we'll see.
Rumors. Rumors.
So yeah, I think we'll move on
So,
to the next
yeah.
topic, which is
Well, one thing I did want to cover
Yep,
before we move on to any other topics is speaking of new information. Very recently, some new scans and a new website was brought up for the next Frontier expansion or season or whatever you want to call it, which is Season Forward 3 or Season 13.
Which means season 13.
Yeah.
Oh, he died.
And anyway, it appears as though Frontier, just looking at a guess, it looks as though it's getting its own version of a Devil Show, because this thing has a wide variety of habitats. It actually looks like a Brute Wyvern, which
Yeah.
were meant so far have only been in Generation 3. And it has, I looked at the animation that it has for a Raw on the preview site, and it looks to be the same as Devil Show's. Looks kind of like a Triceratops, Stegosaurus, T-Rex fusion. So yeah, but I'm a big fan, and I love its music. But that's just me.
Yeah. So, did you get any good cards? We haven't really been speaking about the monster. Anything?
no, not really. Well, obviously, as time goes on, we're going to be fighting the same monster over and over again. But I think the main thing is just if we try and stay on the topics for now, and then obviously as and when we'll get around to the monster. But
Yep.
Well, maybe if anybody wants to leave a bit of feedback, they can let us know if they really prefer us to talk about the monsters as well, or if the way we're doing it is just fine, because you have to sort of put a lot of focus to try and get all that information that we talk about on the topics themselves. It's a little hard to talk about the monsters, but if people really want it, we'll give it a shot.
So, next quest, we're gonna be hunting. We're gonna be hunting a Shogun Centaur. Do you say like that? Right?
Yep.
I say Shogun Cyanator. I think that's correct.
I have always said Kenator. I don't know why. maybe that's because I'm Swede. But yeah, the next thing that we will be discussing or share with you will be what got you into Monster Hunter and why. Is that right? Yes, it is. And why did you continue playing it? Maybe I can start talking myself. What happened to me was I was just sitting at home as normally, and my stepbrother he showed me this game on his PSP. It was a demo of, I think it was Freedom 2 that he have downloaded recently, and he said that soon enough there will be a new game released called Unite. So I was like, oh wow, yeah, it looks really nice. So I watched him play it on his PSP a few times, and I really liked the game type. Like, it was so different from what I have ever seen before. I was like, wow, this is totally new for me. So eventually I saved money to get myself a PSP. It was like a really bargain. I got it for a really good price, a totally new one. And I downloaded the demo because I didn't have the money at that time to buy a memory stick. So I had to borrow my stepbrother's, what was it, like, digital camera's memory stick, because they were like the same size. So I played the demo like that for a long time, and when it eventually got released, Unite, I bought it. And I just love the game overall. It's like a really new game for me, like the type I have never seen this before. The way, like, you're a hunter, you gotta like fight for your life, you gotta protect the city, and it's such a different game for me because I have always been playing like MMOs like Fly for Fun or RuneScape when I was a little kid, and this was just such a big contrast in like the differences between everything I've seen before. So I think that's really why I got stuck to it, and just like and the thing, it's not really a simple game. It's quite hard, and just fun to play, I guess.
Yeah.
And I didn't know that this wasn't really popular at that time, but I just played it because I love the game. So I was playing a lot with my stepbrother. I think I got up to like HR 8 with him, and then I played a little bit on my own to get up to HR 9. But I didn't really look on YouTube and stuff, like how to do stuff. I just learned by my own, like, like a normal person maybe would have done. But I'm not really very normal, so, it was quite good on me. Well, yeah, that's why I think. I just like that you got
the story.
That's my way.
That's how you became one of us.
Yeah.
One of us.
One of us. So, Wolfie, what about you?
Okay, so it all sort of started out with a good friend of mine. We were going to be catching up on a weekend, and he said, "Hey, I've got this cool new game to show you." I'm like, "Oh yeah, sweet." And he's like, "It's on the PSP." Okay, cool. I recently got one of those. And he's like, "Yeah, it's called Monster Hunter." And then as soon as he said that to me, at the time, because I was still a bit young, I sort of just instantly went, Monster Hunter. With a name like that, you got to be kidding me. That's gonna be bad. What an unoriginal, uninspiring name. So that was my first sort of thoughts. Okay. And then he brought it over and I played it, and it was the original Freedom. And he told me what the different weapons were, and he gave me a little preview of a couple of them, and I really liked the Greatsword, but it was too slow. So I said, alright, I'll use the Lance. And basically my tactic at the start was to just use the charge, and and I had all of a yellow sharpness or something, so I was just bouncing and then charging forward, bouncing, charging forward, doing nearly nothing, but it worked in my own little way to kill Aptonoth. And so anyway, bit of time went on, and I saw Unite was a real bargain, and I thought, yeah, it was alright. I'll buy Unite and give it a try. and I played it a bit. Wasn't really like I enjoyed it, but it was really hard, obviously, and I just couldn't see myself getting into it too much at the time. And then Try came along, and I got that, and I played that a lot. But then I sort of stopped and didn't really do anything with Monster Hunter for several months. And then one of my friends got a Wii, and he said that he liked what Monster Hunter looked like and that I should play it with him. So then I started playing it, Try with him, and I got really far in that, and then that sort of spiraled on into Unite again, and then into Third, and that's what really happened when that particular friend started playing Try with me, and I spent hundreds of hours on the games then.
Yeah.
And it was a real challenge. It was really fun. It's just an amazing game. Yeah, sorry, go on.
I was gonna ask you, was it your friend Kyle that made you?
That was the one that I played Tribe with, yeah.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah. Yeah, so it's obviously everyone knows it's a serious, challenging game. It's not for the faint of heart, and I don't know, the concept of having to grind on a boss if you want to get equipment, as opposed like in most games, it's kind of like you just keep fighting something and it'll drop that piece of equipment that you want. But in this game, it's like you have to constantly put yourself up against these tough bosses to get little bits of that armor that you want. So the concept there, it's just really great, and you always have to, if you're trying to progress forward, you always have to constantly be on your toes and pushing yourself forward, and even though something might seem intimidating at first, you have to rush in and give it a shot. It's just it's really fun and challenging. That's what I love about it, the challenge.
Yeah, same here. Totally.
So what about you, Craig?
Well, I pretty much played Monster Hunter from like the very, very beginning.
Guess you're old, but...
Yeah, well, it was back in, I think it was 2006 when the original game came out, Broken His Shell.
Yeah, I saw that. It was nice.
Like at the time, this is like before YouTube and all that stuff, because YouTube came out in like 2006, 2007. So there was like no way to look on like videos of games or anything like that. So you just relied on like gaming websites. So I was like, I don't trust like IGN or GameSpot or anyone like that because, well, as we all know now, their reviews aren't reputable, I guess. So back in 2006, I traded a few games in and I had some store credit. So I was like, there's no games coming out because they had like a big list of what was coming out in a year. I was like, I've no interest in anything. So I'll just see what the new releases are for what have come out. And then I saw this game called Monster Hunter. I was like, I never heard of this before. Look on the front cover, it was by Capcom, and like at the time I was playing games like Onimusha, Resident Evil, Gun Survivor. No, not Gun Survivor. Resident Evil Survivor, like the online one. I think that was out by then anyway. So yeah, I was playing a lot of Capcom games. So I thought, it's a new game by Capcom, never heard of it, so I just like bought it on the off chance of it being good. So yeah, took it home, played it for a little while, quite enjoyed it. The main thing with the game itself is it sort of assumes that you know what to do. The tutorial in the game itself is very, very basic. It's just like, here's a gathering spot, go gather, that's a mission, do the next thing. But the thing which got me, like Wolfie has said, like it mainly depends on you fighting the monster, getting so many parts of the monster, and then you can make new weapons and equipment, and then you just keep doing that, get the best gear, and just keep going and going and going until you hit the end of the game. So I played that for about 40-50 hours. Tried to get my PS2 online because I was playing the Resident Evil game at a friend's house who had it set up, so I was like, I'll try and get online with Monster Hunter because it says online enabled. Phoned up Sony, no help from them. They were like, we can't give you specifics because it depends on the manufacturer of your router and all this stuff. So I tried for hours and hours and hours trying to get online, and I couldn't get online. So I was like, I've got as far as I can get in the game on my own, and that was it. So that was the end of that for then. Then got myself a PSP, and there was pretty much no games at the time. They had like Mega Man X and Ridge Racer and stuff because I got one when it first came out.
Yeah.
And then they announced that Monster Hunter was coming to the PSP, and I was like, oh, I remember that. That was quite good. So I bought that as soon as it came out. There was a massive amount of improvements, like they added the farm. There was like local multiplayer and like all this good stuff. So I convinced a few of my friends to get PSPs, and they all got Monster Hunter, and we all played together. So I was like having a lot of fun with that.
Awesome.
Then I discovered a program called X-Link Kai, which is a very, how should we say, temperamental program. It either you set it
Very
up
fickle, that's for
exactly
sure.
how it wants it to work, or it doesn't work. So I started playing online with like random people, Monster Hunter. Spent over 600 hours on this
Wow.
game. Got like everything that I wanted to get, and then sort of gave up on it. And then I imported Portable 2, the Japanese one, because I was like, I didn't know if the English one was coming out, because obviously Monster Hunter 2 never came out. So I imported that, played that for a little while. It was in Japanese, so I didn't really get too far with it. Maybe played it for about 15 hours and sort of gave up because there was no guides and stuff online. Then they announced Freedom Unite, which was in English. So I was like, this is Monster Hunter 2 but in English, so I'll try and play some of that. All my friends got rid of all their PSPs. All the people I used to play the original Freedom with had been and gone, so I had nobody to play with. Did a bit of the single player, and then sort of gave up because I had like no one to play with. And then obviously I got Try, spent about 700 hours on that with just randoms and stuff like that. So I've been a fan of the series and got most of the games for like since the beginning. So, but the main thing which kept me going. Oh, sorry.
No. Sorry, I was just interrupting you. Sorry. You keep on going.
The main thing which kept me going is like Monster Hunter is a game which is based on skill. Like you can have like the worst weapon and worst armor, but if you know what you're doing, then it makes no difference, because like there's no sort of requirements, as it were, for like weapons and armor. It's just
That's
like
true.
once you have to get the materials to make them.
Yeah.
Once you have them, you can equip them, and then you just keep going like that. So it's a game based on skill rather than anything else. So sorry, I went on a bit there, and then the quest ended.
No worries. We did quite well this round. I didn't really speak about like I stopped actually playing Monster Hunter for a while. Like you guys said, I stopped playing Unite for a while because it became a little bit like too much, because we were like two people playing this like G rank on our own. So it became a bit frustrating at certain points. We stopped playing for a while, and but I kept on going like now and then eventually Try came out. So I bought Try because luckily I have a girlfriend who have a Wii, so I have borrowed her Wii for about 2 years now. It's like, and so I started playing Try a lot, really a lot, and it worked online for me for a very long time, and then somehow it stopped working, and I stopped playing it because I became so angry. I started playing Unite again, and so on, and I started playing online with Unite with a new character called Shivira, and so on. And my brother got Try, so me and my other brother, my real brother, who is called Emil, started playing Try together. And then somehow Try started working again. Then I met a lot of friends online. A guy from Sweden that's like the best guy ever. He's, as maybe Craig know, he's Ninion. Awesome.
The one and only.
The one and only Ninion. So yeah, but now it's stopped working again. that stupid piece of crab. It's like it's just my router doesn't like my Wii because my internet sends out. No, yeah, my internet is too fast, so my Wii can't pick up the speed fast enough.
Wow.
And that's actually true because I have been calling Netgear, who's like the internet provider. that I
ISP.
have. Yeah, they're right. And then I called the internet that I'm paying for, like the guy there. They talked to me, blah blah, to try to help me. Then I eventually called Nintendo of Sweden, and one guy, he helped me through everything. He was so good at this, and he said, "You have a really kind of strange problem." It's like, yeah, okay. Your internet is too fast. I was like, okay. Because the Wii doesn't really have a good receiver, you know. And because of the internet being sent out too fast, it creates lag for me in the game, which will later on be like I will disconnect and stuff. So it's like really weird. But then I got into Monster Hunter again, and I started to watch the Monster Hunter podcast a lot, and and I've been playing this all the time during that time too. And then I met you guys playing third.
And so that's the story.
Yeah, I guess.
So yeah, I think that pretty much covers everything for this episode.
Yeah. So
Wolfie decided to come over and snuggle with me while I sleep on the floor.
It's awfully warm down with Iceman.
I know.
What are you doing? Are you sleeping me there? Oh no! Hold on, I gotta
Vic.
see what's going on. Ooh.
Ooh, that's dirty.
Ooh, that's yes, like this.
Okay,
and
so, yeah.
should we wrap this up maybe?
Yeah, I think
probably.
it's gone beyond that now.
We've been talking so much this time. So yeah, if you have any comments or suggestions of what we should fight or do in the next episode, please comment. Give us any type of feedback. You can find us on this YouTube, of course, on Facebook and on Twitter, but we are most active on the Facebook page. And please go in there and like the page. You can talk to us and whatever. Maybe even, I won't give you too much of a promise here, but maybe even play with you if you would like to. So yeah, just give us anything. Please, just comment or whatever. What should I say? I was thinking of something special. Yeah, right. Something that I forgot the last time. Please spread the word of our podcast, because we really want people to follow this and see what we're doing. Because I really hope that people enjoy watching this. And yeah, remember guys, the key to being united is to be casual.